Computer would be good. Okay, so hi, I am Kimberly Carlson, and I have become known as the allergy healer. So we're going to talk about a little bit about allergies, but only a little tiny bit. The point of this video is going to mainly be to have other people that have been through my energetic allergy healing programs talk about their experience, kind of a live testimonials, if you will, is what we're going to do today. So first of all, I just want to say that allergies are responsible for most of what is going wrong in our bodies, or should I say most of what is not working right in our bodies. So when we have pain, when we have illness or disease or dysfunction in our body, one of three things or all of three things are happening. We have allergies, we have deficiencies, we have toxicity. Like those are the main three things that cause inflammation in the body and disease or disorder and dysfunction in the body. The really cool thing is that allergy healing actually takes care of not just the allergies, but it actually helps with the other things as well, deficiencies and toxicity. And I'm going to talk about that for a second because it's so important and super cool. So when we are allergic to vitamins, to minerals, to fats, to sugars, to salts, to proteins, which most people are and they just don't know it, we cannot absorb those things. So we become deficient. Even people that have the most awesome diets and take really expensive supplements, and they're working with their naturopaths and healthcare practitioners to have all these amazing nutritional aspects or components in their lives, and yet they can still be deficient. And it's because they're allergic to those vitamins and minerals. When that happens, our body doesn't know how to use or absorb them properly, so we are deficient. So, and then toxicity, being toxic produces inflammation, produces disease. Certainly produces a lot of energy drain, fatigue issues. Allergy healing for toxins like heavy metals, parasites, fungus, molds, bacteria, viruses, all those different things, chemicals, environmental chemicals, all that stuff, what that actually does is clears the confusion between our brains and our bodies about our environment, whether it's internal or external. So when we do an allergy healing for, say, heavy metals, our brain and body, the confusion clears in the communication line, and the brain starts to understand that it can release those things now. It can start to dump those things. So people actually go through a detoxing period when they go through the allergy healing program that probably goes on for quite a while after they're even done with the allergy healing. People will continue to detox. So those are some of the things that I really wanted to talk about really quickly. Allergy healing changes people's lives. It changes their health, which in turn changes everything, right? Our health affects every part of our lives and what we're trying to do. It helps people show up in the world, do their work, be more present with their children, their families, their partners. They have better relationships, that it really flows into and affects every aspect of our lives. So I have 5 really amazing people with me here today that have all been through the energetic allergy healing programs at one sort or another, at one time or another. And they're here to share some of their experiences and some of the miraculous results that they have had due to this work. So we're going to start with Matt, which his name is Matt Schaefer. I'm going to unmute Matt so that he can chat with us. And then I'm going to put him. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Cam.
I'm going to put you in the spotlight now. We're going to see how this works with Zoom.
Ready for my close-up. Let's do it.
Cool. Right on. Okay, so everybody, this is Matt Schaefer. And Matt has actually just finished up a 9-week allergy healing program with me. You're actually done now, right? I know you got a little.
Yep, I'm done now. Yeah.
Sweet. So I'm going to give you the floor and let you just kind of talk about your experience.
Okay. So when I came to Cam, I was referred to her by a dear friend, her partner in crime, Mr. Jesse, and a good friend of mine. And I was referred to her because I was suffering from a really sort of devastating skin itch rash that had been a recurring issue for me for the last probably 6 to 8 months. And it felt like I could never fully get it to go away. I would knock it down a lot, and then it would come back, and it would come back. And it was really affecting my quality of life. It was affecting my relationships. It was really devastating. And so kind of as a last-ditch effort, Jesse had mentioned that his partner does allergy energetic healing, and I was like, wow, can I connect with her? And from the moment that she worked with me the first time, I noticed a shift, even when we just talked on the phone the first time. So I myself work for a very powerful energy healer, so I can tell when people are legit or when they're not. And the fact that I could feel her working on me, and I could feel a shift from the moment that we started talking, I'm like, okay, she obviously is the real deal, because there's a lot of people out there that aren't, you know? So then I'm like, okay, I feel good about this. So I decided to do the program, and I wasn't always able to be on the live calls, which again, for some people, like you have to be connected to them live in order to get benefits out of them. But for me, I was always kind of, well, not always, but sometimes listening to them on the back end, like listening to them after the fact and tuning in when I could, but I wasn't always able to be physically tapped in. And so I wasn't sure if it was going to work with me, but probably within a month of starting the program, I could feel like the itch that had been so devastating start to fade away. And for the first time since like June of last year, about a month ago, like 6 weeks into the program, the itch like went away, and I actually saw my skin starting to heal. And now it's like it never happened, which is kind of surreal because it's dominated my life since June of last year. So and it ended. It's like, and my skin has almost completely healed, almost exactly in alignment with the ending of the allergy program. So like the timing of it is like beyond, it couldn't possibly be a coincidence. So
Awesome.
like, even if you don't have time to necessarily be on all the calls, you can still get tremendous benefits as long as you work the program and stay present to the program. You know, like that's what I did. And so yeah, it's been amazing for me. I'm so grateful for it, and it works. And another big thing that I've noticed, in addition to losing this terrible itch, is I feel I'm way more present. I'm way more relaxed. My relationships have improved. My attitude, my ability to focus is better, and it goes beyond just the itch. It's kind of just like it's like my vibration has elevated in a way that permeates all areas of my life. So, and I attribute that to just shifting out of whatever has been inflaming me dietarily and from what I've been putting them and exposing myself to. I think having all those allergies like taken out of me has profoundly benefited my my life experience. So
that's awesome. Thanks.
Thank you, Kim.
Yay, you're so welcome. It's so exciting. This is my favorite part, is like people's results. So that's the best part ever. So I wanted to say also, because you've been on antibiotics to resolve this in the past. You've done all kinds of things to try to get help too, right? And nothing. I mean, it would work a little bit, but then it would come back. Sometimes, you know,
it would knock it down, but then it would come. As soon as I would stop taking whatever it was, within a couple weeks, it would start to come back. It was like, because it was still there. It could never fully. It never like went away. It just like knocked it down a little bit.
That's because the allergies were still there, and now they're not.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Matt. I'm so glad
you're
sharing. I appreciate it so much. Okay.
Appreciate you.
Oh, thanks. Okay, so the next person that we're going to actually talk to then is, okay, Matt, you muted yourself. Awesome. The next person we're going to talk to is Stacy Spain. So let me unmute her, and let's give her the spotlight now. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so now we're going to give Stacy the floor and have her kind of share her experience when she came to me for allergy healing, a lot of her concern had to do with even her own daughter, herself,
Yeah.
but she was a new mom and
Yes.
experiencing all those like kind of freak out moments that we have when
Kind of a little bit. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and give you.
Okay. So when I came to Kim because my daughter was 6 months old, I think, about 6 months, and she was breastfed only, and she had eczema really, really bad. She was getting it on her legs, her ankles, and she was getting it on her face. And the doctor kept telling me to change my diet. And so I was down. She had me eating meat, quinoa, and green vegetables. And but it didn't do anything for the eczema. It wasn't getting any better. And so after working with Kim, I think it was 2 weeks into the program and her eczema totally went away. And I completely healed, and I was able to eat whatever I wanted really after that. So it was it had a huge impact on my life and a huge impact on my daughter's life. And it was so fascinating to me, all of the things that we were allergic to, not just food, because that's what, of course, the doctor was telling me, that it was all food sensitivities, which there was some of that, but it was also emotions. And for me, there was a lot of emotions that we worked on, and that made a huge difference for me. But there was also planetary energy, and you cleared oaths and contracts, and there was all different kinds of stuff that you worked on with me and my daughter that just completely shifted our life. And I think it made such a big impact on our lives that it was like I didn't have to worry. I was completely freaked out when I first came to Kim, because it was like this problem with my daughter that I couldn't figure out and I couldn't fix. And knowing that I had someone that could like magically solve her health issues was amazing. I just couldn't have asked.
I know what I really love about the way this energy healing can work is, I'm not really working. I can't like get on the phone with a 6-month-old child, right?
Yeah.
And I forget where you live, Stacy. You're in the Midwest.
Michigan.
Oh, Michigan. Okay. And it's not like we're not, meeting in home or in an office somewhere, right? We get to do this all online.
Yeah.
So, the energy healing really does transfer. It really does go where you intend it to go. And what I really love about this work too is that mothers have, and fathers too, I usually tend to work with more women than men. But, we have the ability to accept a healing for our children. Or I can direct the healing to a person and their child too. But moms can also, because we do some recordings, right? We also do recordings so that I have everybody listen to make sure that all the allergies heal at the deepest levels. And so like Stacy, as mom, can just say, I also accept this healing for my daughter. And the energy healing goes to the daughter as well. We have that power. We're connected to them. They're in our guardianship, in our care and keeping until they grow up. So, and it works. So I love that families can heal together in this program, and that it's so easy to do that. So, well, cool. Thank you so much for sharing, Stacy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so exciting. Okay, did you have anything else you wanted to add, or you good?
No, I mean, that was the main thing with wellness.
Yeah. You had some breathing stuff too that improved, and
yeah. I had a lot of stuff with my sinuses.
Yeah, where you didn't have like a surgery in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's probably still not 100% for you, right? But it's
no, but it's a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say it's 80% improved, or kind of where would you land it? You can be honest.
I would say 80%.
Okay.
And it was all emotional.
Yeah.
So
a lot of stuff a lot of the illnesses we're experiencing and dysfunction in our bodies is emotion. Sometimes we're allergic to our parents, to our siblings, our children. We can be emotionally allergic to our own city, our own house. Like there's so many things that can come into play that people would never have been able to wrap their mind around before. So that's cool that you've had that experience and seeing what that does. And I'm glad that you shared that aspect of it as well. Okay, so let's see. We don't want to make this video too long, so let's go ahead and who's going to talk next? We've got Jesse's going to talk next. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mute you, Stacy, and you're already muted. Okay, let's give Jesse the spotlight for a second or two. Hi, Jesse.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, so Jesse's going to share some stuff too, because one of the things that was amazing when I met Jesse is that he already had a pretty deep understanding of allergies and what they do to the body, because he'd been having allergy problems since he was a little small child, and he remembers it. So we connected pretty right away. So anyway, I'll let you go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, so it's funny when I talk about this allergy. Can you guys hear that? What's that?
I think maybe it might have muted.
Echo.
Yeah, can you,
Mute me.
yeah, maybe sure. Okay, how about that? There, that works good. Perfect. So anyway, what I was going to say is when I start talking about this allergy healing stuff, I get like, there's just all this stuff I want to say, you know, and I'm like, Kim, can I take up the whole 15 minutes? You know, because I've just got a whole. So, but what I can say is, without making you guys think I'm going to tell you my whole life story, my first experience that I remember when I had a reaction to sugar. When I was 3 years old, I'd actually eaten a piece of toast that had yummy butter, white bread, right? Yummy butter and cinnamon and sugar just plastered all over that toast. It was like, just yummy, yummy, yummy. First time I'd ever had that. And as soon as I finished that piece of toast, I immediately had, I guess, I didn't realize it at the time or even later in life, but I had an allergic reaction to sugar. And I literally bolted right through a screen glass door at 3 years old and, you know, could have died. And that kind of set the stage for my life with addictions and different things and cravings and all kinds of habits that were not good for me. And I didn't realize until about 1.5 years ago when I actually met Kim that those were allergic reactions. And I've always craved sugar my whole life. And I've always been aware too, when Kim mentioned that I know a little bit about allergies and how they function in the body, that especially with me, I had negative emotional attachments to these allergies. And one of the big things that I've noticed since I've worked with Kim is I have less fear, far less fear than I had just 1 year ago, 1.5 years ago. And it's kind of the flip side of that is what happens when you just kind of lose all your fear. What do? Sometimes you go a little crazy. So it's kind of been a funny thing to learn how to have that fear function properly in your body and in your mind. You know, normally to where you don't have all this massive amount of fear. So anyway, I won't go on too much about the emotional stuff, but it has just been a huge thing about just so many less negative emotional states that I experienced. And plus, I'm not allergic to dairy anymore. I'm not allergic to the veggies that I used to be allergic to that I didn't even know that I was trying to get nutrition from. And so I'm just, you know, getting a lot more nutrition from those things, and I can feel it. Coffee, I can just go on forever and ever. Just so many different things that I just do not have allergies.
How about those cravings? Where are they at now?
Like the sugar? You know, I'll eat some chocolate a couple times a week just because I know, because I work out, I'm a weightlifter, I know how important it is to cheat as part of your diet. And sometimes I just don't even want it. I throw it in there because it's on the menu. You know, it's part of my menu. But I just do not have sugar cravings anymore. It's just, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. It's just really amazing. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, well, thank you for sharing. And then are you good now? Did you have anything else you want to add?
Somebody else go now because I'll just go on.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Well, I'm so glad you're here and sharing. And let's see. And who's going to talk next? We've got Catherine. Catherine's going to go next. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and you already muted yourself, Jessie. Oh, you guys are so good. You guys are pros at this already. Let's give Catherine the spotlight. We will talk to her. I'm going to unmute you for one thing, and then put you in the spotlight. Hi, Catherine.
Hi there.
Hi there. Okay, so this is Catherine Navarro. And Catherine worked with me back when I actually did a 12-week program back then. So it's been a little bit. I actually do things a little bit differently now. And we worked mainly like one-on-one. I didn't even do recordings like I do now in the beginning. So anyhow, she's getting all those now though, because she's part of a current program that Alicia Hartzell and I are doing together. But anyway, we don't need to go into that. But let's hear your story.
Okay. There's some echo stuff.
I'm going to mute myself.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm not sure if I'm pinned or not because I can see you, but regardless of that, I would say my story is a little different in that I've been looking at health and wellness probably for a larger part of my life. I would say from 2010 on, it was more holistic. And before that, it was harder core training style, very Western. And so I'm an energy healer. I've done spiritual work. I've been on this path for an extremely long time. I'm a life coach. I have a psych background. I've done a gazillion. I've done so much work on myself that I was speaking to a particular coach around visibility because I saw my flare-up. So my flare-up was asthma. All of a sudden, I could no longer breathe. And when I mean all of a sudden, I mean all of a sudden. It was within a week's time or so. I'm in my 40s. I'm not going to share more. But the last time I had ever had that, it was about 12 years old. So it's been a really long time. And it's really scary to feel that all of a sudden your chest is closing and you basically feel like you're going to die. I had been on 2 different rounds of antibiotics. I had worked with various healers, all different modalities. I'm the type A go-getter, just head first. Who can I work with next type of thing. I had also worked with a theta healer. And I just felt like it wasn't enough. And speaking with a particular business coach of mine, she said, well, this is either real or it's fear. So I'm going to refer you to Kim and we'll know soon enough if this is real or it's just you on you. And I would say, I think for me, I started to feel better sometime around week 6, but it really didn't go until about 12 or so. I think we were good around 16. And being who I am, I'm like, Kim, I don't ever want to stop. When do I get to 100%? And she says, there's always going to be a certain deviation line. So you want to feel like, where are you most comfortable? Where are you happiest? And I started to kind of feel that out. Where is my happy medium? Where do I feel like I'm really thriving? So basically, before I couldn't breathe. Then I was going to doctors. Nobody had a solution. I saw Kim and voila, I was amazing. And Kim wanted me to also share as to what, I guess the shocking pieces or the side effects were. What did I not expect to receive from this type of energy work and healing combination that she does? And I would say the surprise was the focal point around where my allergies were. And it was all around commitment issues and relationship issues and things of that nature that are really not in my awareness. Because I don't remember being really upset with my mother about X, Y, or Z. I don't remember such and such happening within my family dynamics. It's not in my awareness. Like, I get along with mostly everybody. I'm pretty much happy all the time. So who knew I hated these people so much, or I was so pissed for whatever reasons? I had no idea. And so some of them are no longer even on this plane. So how do you go back and have this all forgiveness work? And thankfully she has this thing all little boxed up and she can handle that piece. And like somebody mentioned before, once I trust a healer, I trust them. I recognize that you don't have to be face to face. And if I'm really busy doing X, Y, or Z, and Kim says, do you mind if I can just handle this? I'm like, no, just handle it. I don't have to be there. I want the end result. So for anyone who's out there that is wondering, can this work? I mean, I stand behind Kim's work 1,000%. I'm sure it's not like a blanket statement. maybe there are people that will come to her and it's not as effective based on other beliefs and things like that. But if I could have every single one of my family members and every single one of my loved ones touch base with her, I wholeheartedly feel that their life would improve in one way or another. I have actually shared it with many, and I think it's hard for people to wrap their head around, wow, just how does that work? It sounds like hocus pocus, but I swear to you, if hocus pocus gets me from where I was to where I am, where I could barely breathe and felt like the room was closing in on me and I could go back to the park and run again, like I'm in. Hocus pocus me all day. Okay. So that's my share. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. That's awesome. I know that's so funny. I have people that work and, go through the programs and stuff, and they'll be like, oh my God, everybody needs this work. People just don't know it, they don't know it. They don't know that they're allergic to all these different things and how they're really being affected by those allergies. They're just not aware of it. It's a new thought for many, many, many people. So, anyway, I'm glad you shared all of that, and I'm so glad you're breathing and here. This is so good. I know, and then I know with Catherine, you start to realize, we can actually work on a lot of different things. The breathing's cleared up. Now let's work on this or that or the other, various other little things. Because you start to notice when your big issue, for her it was asthma, clears up. Then you start to notice other things like, well, maybe I'm not sleeping as well as I could, or maybe my fingernails aren't as nice as I want them to be, or different things. And we can keep working together and we can improve a lot of other things. But some things, like she's saying, you just have to kind of find what your baseline is, how far you want to go, what you want to do. But I do want to say that since I've worked with Catherine, my allergy healing program's changed quite a bit and is actually even more powerful. It's kind of crazy. It's gotten really pretty sweet, because Catherine and I think we worked together maybe at least a year ago now, or more probably. So, and it's also nice to know that your asthma is still gone. It's not back. You're still breathing and jogging and running and all these different things and able to handle all that. So that's really cool. Okay, so we have one more person that's going to share today, and then that's it, and we'll wrap this video up so that the people actually want to watch the whole thing. Okay, all right. So let's see. We have Alicia's going to talk to us next. Thank you again, Catherine. Let me find her on here. There she is. Let's unmute Alicia. And let's give Alicia the spotlight. Okay, you're in it.
Okay.
Hi, Alicia Hartzell.
Hi, and I hear the echo too.
Okay, I'm going to mute myself again. I wonder why that's going on. So I'm just going to give you the floor because you're going to know what to talk about.
Okay. Okay, so I could go on and on as well about all of this allergy healing. And for those of you who might not know who I am, Kim and I are best friends. We've been best friends forever. So I've been intimately involved with this work long before there was ever any kind of program. And I've actually never gone through Kim's program. I've received the allergy healing, portioned out bit by bit whenever I needed it. Which has been a lot of healing. And I wanted to talk about a couple of things. I wanted to talk about myself, and also all of my daughters have been through this healing just because they're my daughters and they get everything that I'm involved in. So my daughter Sabrina, who's my oldest daughter, when she was, it was her 15th birthday, she was diagnosed with celiac. And up until that point, she had been really, really, really sick for months, and we couldn't figure out what was going on. And so she got diagnosed with celiac, but at that time, she could literally only eat 3 things. She could eat apples, 4 things: apples, almond butter, quinoa, and kale, I think. And she was existing on these 4 food items and also olive oil. That's not very fun, and you're not getting the nutrition that you need. And plus, on top of that, she was really, really, really sick. She would stay in bed. She would have anxiety attacks. She was in high school, and she couldn't go do stuff with her friends because she'd have a panic attack everywhere she went. It was very dramatic and very limiting to her life. And so allergy healing has played a major part in her recovery of her health. And now she's in college. She's 20 and she's living in London. She's going out to restaurants. Like, I mean, that was unheard of. She could not go out to restaurants. She could not even eat at home. She had made her own meals of these 4 items. And now she's living a normal life. She doesn't have panic attacks. Like, I mean, she couldn't leave the house other than to go to school pretty much. And now here she is living 7,000 miles away from me, having her own life, going to restaurants and, you know, building her life. And so that piece of it is really amazing. That's been a dramatic difference in her life. And that's just one piece of what allergy healing has done. So for me, I had classic allergy symptoms when I was a kid. I had hay fever, but that kind of went away when I was in my 30s. That just disappeared. So I haven't really had like signals in my body that are telling me, you know, what we normally think of as allergies. That just hasn't been part of my life. But I had a thyroid issue. And I was very exhausted all the time. And I had, many years ago, when I was pregnant with my first daughter, I had gone through 2 brain surgeries. And that caused a big imbalance in my whole endocrine system. And so my thyroid had basically been off, and my adrenal glands were suffering for decades. And I knew this was an issue, but I don't like to go on medication. And so I was just kind of trying to fix it naturally. So I had allergy healing. Kim healed my allergies around my adrenals, around my thyroid, all of that stuff. And I went for a physical, and I asked them to check my thyroid levels because I was always concerned about that. So I went back for the checkup, however many weeks later after they'd done the blood test. And literally, my doctor said, everyone in the office was exclaiming about my thyroid levels, all of the T3 and T4 and all those things that they check, because they had never seen such good thyroid levels. So that's like total medical proof that, and I wasn't doing anything else for my thyroid. That was all I was doing. So that was a big thing. You know, I could tell other stories, but that's a real, like, you know, solid proof that this really made a difference for me. But another part of what I love about allergy healing is that we can be allergic to people, and that can cause difficulties in our relationships, and especially with our partners and our kids. And so I can tell you that I've used allergy healing for clearing allergies to my partner and to my daughters, and it makes an immediate difference, and it's an amazing tool to be able to have at our disposal, to be able to have the allergies to people cleared. So that's actually one of my favorite things about allergy healing, is that we can clear the allergies to the people around us who might be irritating us, or we might be having, you know, conflict with. So that's, like I said, I could go on about this for a long time, but those are kind of the main points that I wanted to talk about as far as allergy healing goes. And I agree that literally everyone on this planet needs this work, because even if you don't think you have allergies, even if you don't have the symptoms of, you know, hay fever, or you can't eat certain foods, you do have allergies, and you do need this program.
I'm unmuting myself. Yes. And I love that you got to say that and I didn't have to. That everybody needs it. They just don't know it. Everybody does have allergies. They just are not aware of it. So an allergy happens when we experience emotional overwhelm in our life, and our body literally doesn't know how to process it. And it turns into allergies. Allergies are created. And we also inherit our parents' allergies. We pick up our mother's allergies when we're in the womb. So we were already born with allergies in the first place. And so, but people just aren't always aware, right? But if you have fatigue in your body, if you like have headaches or any kind of pain happening in your body, you have allergies. It just is. So thank you, Alicia. Thank you for your coming on here and giving a testimonial. So exciting. And I noticed that a couple of people have popped off. They had to go. But I just want to say that I love all of you guys, and I'm so grateful to have gotten to work with you and get to know all of you, and say that you're a part of my life. So just so great. You end up making some really great connections when you're doing healing work with people. It's such a bond forming thing that happens. So I think that's all we're going to say for today. Thanks again, everybody, and talk to y'all soon. Okay, bye.